home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. I wish I was home, I wish I was back there with the things I've been knowing, waves that make the tall grass.
Hi, my name is Larry White, and I am your producer and director of The Inner Beat. The Inner Beat is a socially conscious program that sometimes showcases cultural events as well as community events. And occasionally, we'll even bring you a little song and dance. So sit back and enjoy The Inner Beat.
Who gives you nothing. So that teacher who sits back and sips that cup of coffee and reads the newspaper and lets you act like an uncivilized individual and says nothing about it. Oh, you love that teacher. That teacher's cool. But that teacher's giving you nothing and requiring you to be nothing. And this is what's happening. So when people talk about the N-word debate, it's interesting to me. I know why the N-word is used. Because the people who are using it believe that they really are N's. We're having an intellectual debate with people who are not giving, they're not thinking intellectually when they use that. I mean, I used to have some of my white colleagues, oh, it's such a shame, man, that these children, you know, these black children are calling themselves N's. I said, well, what do you expect? When all of our lives since we've been here, that's what you called us. If you have a parent who tells a child all his life, you're nothing, you ain't gonna be nothing, you just nothing. Guess what? At a certain point, he's gonna reflect nothing. And so that's what happened. So when you constantly beat and beat and beat and beat and beat people down, eventually, you're gonna see the manifestation of what you produce. Now everybody's running around saying, oh my God, they're calling themselves N's and now our children are following them. What are we gonna do with the N's? What you gonna do with you created? So that's why, you know, we really have to get to this African-centered curriculum. But parents in our community must be re-educated. You know, the brother was talking about the PTA. At IS 109, I created a group of parents called PEST. And PEST stood for Parents Empowering Students Today. And the reason why I called them PEST was because I noticed that the children were coming to the school and they were dictating to the parents what the agenda should be. And I'd come into the office and the parents telling me, I say, well, you know, your child did A, B, and C. And the parent would say to me, no, they didn't. I said, how do you know they didn't do that? They told me. I said, well, I'm telling you something different. Well, they told me, so I believe them over you. So I said, you know, I got to do something to change these students. These students will walk in the parents' in. They didn't, you know, I used to be afraid to go to the principal's office. They had the parents by the hand, and they were like, Mom, tell them. You know, and I'm like, wait a minute. So we created this thing called PEST. You know, I tell the child, excuse me, and then I call the parent into my office and say, look, you know, I need your help. And then we would enter into a dialogue. And what happened was we got the parents involved in the school. But one thing that a principal, and I don't know if there's any other principals or educators in this audience, but we have to stop being so arrogant. And we have to be able to ask for help when we need it. Because guess what? Those parents in there, they may not have formal education, but they have an education in many respects that is much greater than the education that we got that was formal. They could outthink us with our masters and our bastard. Well, those degrees, they could do a lot more. And so I said to them, look, I need your help. I said, you know, we're trying to get the school in order, and I need your support, but I need your help. And of course, at first, they didn't believe me because, you know, a lot of times we played lip service to parents, and they think, oh, he's just saying that to get me off his back. But every time they saw me, I said, look, can you come back? I need your help. And eventually, I got a group of parents to step up, and we formed this thing called PEST. And they went and got PEST jackets and PEST shirts, and I put my money where my mouth was. I brought them, you know, we bought them uniforms, we got them walkie-talkies, and they secured the school. They created a safety zone around the school, 5-block radius. No gang member could come to 109, near 109. we didn't, we did like the U.S. military did. We took the fight overseas. So you can't come on our ground. We're gonna go fight you. You know, we think you got weapons of mass destruction, so we're gonna go get you. And that's what we did. And the gang members respected it, and they didn't come around IS 109. And I have fathers who they say fathers are not involved. They were involved. And we would sit there and meet. And sometimes we'd have these big debates. And a lot of times I would lose. Sometimes I would win. But the children never lost because we were arguing about the right things. So it meant that as a leader, I had to not feel so puffed up that this is my school. You know, some of us have that mindset. This is mine. You know, we black people, we don't have a lot, so when we get something, you know. So I said, no, you know, give up that power. And you're not giving up power, you're actually extending influence. And so we went from having a PEST program. From that program, we developed a Parent Resource Training Center. See, putting money where your mouth is. We took a classroom, we stocked it with state-of-the-art computers. And we taught the parents how to use the computer, how to use the internet, how to go and check and see what their children were doing, how to go and find out how to produce their own tests for their children. And on Sundays, we would listen to Open Line and have coffee and talk about the issues in our community. But it became last week at that church, Bob Law spoke about culture, and culture is the thing that creates the cohesiveness within the context of a community. And what it did was it brought us together as a community. And we had a culture of parent involvement in the school, but not just parent involvement, because I don't like that word. You'll hear Chancellor Klein and Bloomberg say parent involvement. And what they want is they want parents to be involved with their agenda. I believe in parent partnership. That means we sit down, we figure out the agenda together, and then we move forward. So that I think is important, and then I'm going to close on this. The most important group, I think, in terms of African-centered curriculum must be the teachers. We have too many teachers that are coming out of education programs and they know nothing about their own history. So they don't approach teaching from the perspective of education as liberation. They approach teaching as if they approach working at Macy's. No, I'm telling you, this is the truth. And they're more loyal to their union than they are to their children. I don't like it, and I don't have any bones about it, when a teacher, especially a teacher of color, says to me, I can't do anything beyond 3 o'clock. There's something wrong with that. And before I was a principal, as a teacher and as a guidance counselor, I spent my time 6, 7 o'clock trying to reach young people. Because the things that the time that they get in trouble.
Wake up everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backward thinking, time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what